Hey guys, this is Comic Uno and LRM Online, and today I'm doing Comic Uno, the weekly roundup, episode 6. It's kind of a light news week, but let's get started with some news. And the first topic is that we do have a Vixen Season 2 release date, finally. This show was released, the Season 1 was released last summer, so I expected Season 2 to come out this summer, and it seemed like it was a little delayed. Maybe it's going to connect into the shows this season, but Season 2 is going to be released in October 14th, or on October 14th, and it's obviously around the time where all the other shows are premiering. I know Black Canary is going to make an appearance this time, so I'm excited for it. I liked Vixen, the first season. It's very short because it's a web show. It's like 5 minutes each episode, but it's fun. I kind of wish they did it during the summer. I do think DC/CW needs a summer show because they have so much during the fall, but it'd be cool to look forward to something during the summer. But yeah, Vixen, I kind of wish it was during the summer, but still excited to see where it goes in October when all these other shows are going on. So moving on to the next topic, which is that DC Rebirth is going to have a holiday one-shot, which is cool. I like that they're having kind of this event issue, obviously, for the holidays and just seeing Christmas and Hanukkah and everything. But it's also cool that they're kind of combining and connecting the DC universe even more. I think that was a big point in DC Rebirth. So having these specials that are really bringing all the heroes together, I think, is important, and glad that DC Rebirth is kind of doing more of that, and again, connecting the DC universe in general together. So next is that Kingpin will show up again. We just don't know when or where. So is he going to show up in Luke Cage? Probably not. Is it going to be Iron Fist? Will it be Defenders? Have a feeling it'll probably be Defenders. But yeah, it's cool that we're going to see the character more. We saw him in Daredevil Season 1, Season 2, Season 3 has been announced. We're having a Punisher show, so I could see him showing up there. I like Kingpin. He's definitely a good villain for Marvel. He's not my favorite villain, but he definitely did a good job in the Daredevil show. So it'll be cool to see what he's going to be up to next, and how much of a role he'll take in the future Netflix shows. So moving on to our last topic, like I said, it's kind of a short news week, but this actually came out on Batman Day, which is that Zack Snyder on Twitter showed what J.K. Simmons is going to look like as Jim Gordon. So I thought he looked great. I was actually really excited about this casting, and he looks like, you know, old-fashioned Jim Gordon. It was a black and white photo, so we don't know exactly all the details that he's gonna look like, and it's kind of far off. But I liked it so far. I liked his design, and overall excited to see Jim Gordon in the Batman films. So that's all the news. There wasn't a lot of news this week, but let's start talking about some TV shows. I didn't see a movie this week. Actually, I saw Aliens today, but we're going to talk about some TV shows. Last week I talked about Our Girl episode 1 for series 2, and I decided why not talk about episode 2 here shortly. So if you didn't watch my last episode, go check it out if you want to see what Our Girl's about. But this is a BBC One show, and with this episode, it gets very intense with Georgie being kidnapped, and we find one of the hostages. It's a very thrilling episode, and we have Elvis and Georgie meet up again, which was her fiance who left her. So what I really liked about this episode, like I said, with the first episode, it was more about building the character, you know, making us like her, especially for an event like this, which is very high-paced, and again, a lot of tension. I thought worked well. The acting was really good, which built the tension even more. I wonder how this situation's going to affect our character, how this is going to maybe change her view of the world, and how she psychologically is going to take this, because she went through a lot of trauma, and I wonder if they're going to do anything with that. So I thought it was a very high-paced episode, and overall a very solid season so far. Moving on to another TV show that I am on the last episode of, actual last episode. It's been kind of my project binge throughout the summer, and that is, and more than the summer, I think pretty much the whole year, and that is Gilmore Girls. So I finally watched all Gilmore Girls. I'm halfway through the last episode. We're going to do a Media Madness for this next week on Comic Frontline, but it's a great show. What I like about it is that it's very much a comfort show. It's more about the relationships than anything. It's not really, oh, this person got in a car accident, oh my god, look at this twist. It's not a show about twists and turns. It's a show about relationships, about, you know, mother and daughter, townspeople, and I really enjoy that aspect, and that's why I think you have that comfort level, and the characters are great. The dialogue is really good. Of course, it's very fast-paced, and very excited for the revival, which I'm sure, hopefully I can review or talk about in some way for this video. I definitely will talk about it on my channel, and I'm sure we're going to do a Media Madness for it on Comic Frontline. So those are the TV shows for this week, but let's start talking about the comic book. So what was my pick of the week? And this was definitely an easy pick of the week for me this week. This is 100% the book I enjoyed the most from this week, and that was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Pink issue 3. I'm just loving this book. The artwork is great, really shows great action, great facial expressions. I like how it showcases Kimberly's gymnastics, that being her strength in the action scenes. But what I liked about this is that it kind of slows the issue down. Obviously, it's still Kimberly fighting Goldar and the rest of the monsters, but it's building up the relationships and the leadership of Kimberly even more, and I think that was important for this issue, just to understand the characters more. So yeah, it's not like a big plot-driven issue, but there's a lot of things that you never saw in the TV show that are being developed here, like Kimberly's relationship with her mom, even her friendship with Trini, which is always touched upon but never expanded in this way. So very well character-driven issue, and if you're not reading this, this is so far the best Power Ranger book, in my opinion, and is a must-read for Power Rangers fan, as I wear my Power Rangers shirt. Alright, so moving on to the books I am looking forward to for this coming week. Glad to see some Marvel books here. First is not a Marvel book, but I'm looking forward to it. Archie issue 12. I've been loving Archie. I'm pretty sure like every month it's on my anticipated list because it's such a good book. Last issue we had Betty and Archie make up, so we'll see what that means for Veronica and Betty's boyfriend. I love Archie. I love the relationships that are there, and I really like Wade's version of these characters, so we will see where that goes. Moving on to number 2, which is the Mighty Thor issue 11, which really left us on a good cliffhanger last month with the two Janes together. We had the Mighty Thor, who's actually Jane, and then a Jane lookalike. Who is this person? Who wants to save Jane? I'm really excited to see where it goes. I'm hoping this fleshes out Jane's character even more as not just, Mighty Thor. But it looks like it's going to be a fun issue. Moving on to my most anticipated book, which is The Astonishing Ant-Man issue 12. This is also a title that tends to be on my anticipated list a lot. Is I think the second and last issue of the series. I'm hoping that in Marvel Now maybe we could get a relaunch of, I don't know, a Cassie and Ant-Man series together, but that is in my dreams. But with this issue, we have Ant-Man going to trial, and previous, teammate, which is She-Hulk, this, I'm guessing, is taking place before Civil War II, is helping Ant-Man out, and hopefully Scott won't go to jail. And we'll see how Cassie kind of reacts to all this, and really all his friends and family reacts to this. So it seems like a really fun issue, and I'm hoping it will be a good penultimate issue. So those are all the books I'm looking forward to, and that is all the news and everything I wanted to cover for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Of course, I'll have another episode of Comic Uno, the weekly roundup for next week. This is Comic Uno and LRM Online, and I'll see you guys later.